Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Missy Money channel. I'm Missy, I'm a mom of 3 and the owner of Missy Money, a small business that specializes in minimalist and aesthetic cash stuffing essentials to help inspire and motivate you on your personal finance and budgeting journey. Today I'm going to be doing my first cash stuffing of November, including variable expenses, sinking funds, and savings challenges. Stay tuned. Alright guys, this is my first paycheck and pay period of November. So as always, I am going to go ahead and start by unstuffing my wallet, seeing what I've got left over in my variable expenses from the past week. And then we will decide if we're going to roll those over or contribute them to savings challenges. So let's see what we've got left. Groceries has $33 left. I will go ahead and unstuff that. Eating out, fully spent. Gas I did not spend. I'm going to go ahead and roll that over into the next pay period. Spending, I have $7 left. We will unstuff that. Say yes is fully spent. Be kind is fully spent. Miscellaneous has $35 left. We will go ahead and unstuff that. My spent envelope, I just did my unstuffing, so I am going to go ahead and get a new tracker to pop in there so I can start keeping track of my credit card and debit card transactions for this month. And then we will go ahead and that will be it for unstuffing my wallet. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put all of this cash into the back of the cash tray, and we will contribute that to savings challenges towards the end of this video. All right, guys, because it is the start of a new month, I did go ahead and check out my digital budget planner to see if I wanted to make any adjustments to my monthly goals and then make adjustments to cash planning for this paycheck. The really only big change that I made was I modified some of my bill denominations for my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge because I am officially done with saving for our cruise fare, which was our largest part of that challenge. And so a lot of the challenges that I have left in the Magical Vacation Savings Challenge are smaller kind of denomination challenges, smaller savings goals. And so instead of giving myself hundreds for that challenge, I wanted to break that down into smaller denomination bills. So I'm still cash stuffing the same amount that I've been cash stuffing for a little while here. And I will continue to do that, but just like I said, changed my mix of bills. So once I figured out my cash plan, I went ahead and transferred that over to my cash planning notepad. So I know what amounts and denominations that I need as I go through my cash stuffing. And then I also went to the bank and got out what I needed for cash stuffing this paycheck. So I will be cash stuffing $1,650 today. Again, a little bit of a different mix of bills than has been my norm for the past several weeks, but excited to hopefully finish the Magical Vacation Savings Challenge soon because I was looking through and there aren't too many challenges left that I need to finish, and I will need to, my goal is to finish that by the end of the calendar year. So hopefully I can do that, or beat that goal would be even better. All right, and so we will go ahead and get started with this cash stuffing. I hope you all are doing well. Today is Halloween, so this morning we went and had the kids' Halloween parade at their school, which was so cute. They always kind of run them around the track. Groceries are getting $250 this week. They kind of walk them around the track by class. And Callie's in the pre-K 2-year-old, so you can imagine what, a class of 10 2-year-olds is like. So they had them all hanging on to this little rope so they could keep them like all together in a line, walking them around the track. It was pretty funny. And she was just looking around like, what is happening? What is this? But the bigger 2 kids were absolutely loving it. All right, eating out is getting $150. Remy was waving like she was on a pageant float. It was so funny. She had definite like main character vibes. All right, gas is getting $50. We let them pick their own costumes really for everything, but we do different costumes for the parade at school versus what they trick-or-treat in. And so for the parade at school, Maverick chose to be a jack-o'-lantern, Remy chose to be Rapunzel, and then Callie wanted to be Cinderella. Spending got $40. And then Say Yes is also getting $40. And then we've got, they still wanted to do a group costume for trick-or-treating for tonight. So we are all going to be the crew of Beauty and the Beast, Be Kind is getting $5. And then Miscellaneous is getting $40. And so they assigned characters. So they assigned Dan Gaston, which they think is really funny that they made him the baddie. They assigned me Mrs. Potts. Maverick is going to be the Beast. That is what he chose to be. And then both of the girls wanted to be Belle. So Callie is going to be Village Belle. And then Remy is going to be kind of, you know, golden ball gown Belle. And by the time I edit this video, we will have already done trick-or-treating, so I'll throw up a picture so you can kind of see our group costume. I don't know if they're going to want to continue doing group costumes, but I think it's fun, you know, while they still want to do it, while they're young enough to think that that's fun and cool to walk around dressed up with your parents. So we'll do that this year and then see if they still think it's fun next year. But we've enjoyed doing that for the past several years, our group costumes. All right, guys, let's pop out long-term sinking funds. If you've got kiddos or you're dressing up yourself, drop a comment below and let me know what you dress up as or dressed up as by the time I post this video. I would love to see the comments on y'all or your all's creativity. All right, Emergency is getting $50 this week. So Emergency has $1,550. I love cash stuffing after a condensing. I just did a condensing, so if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out because it was my biggest condensing ever in terms of how much money I brought back to the bank, over $9,000. So, but I love doing a cash stuffing after that because it's super easy to count and it goes by fast. All right, insurance is getting $30. So insurance now has 500, 600, 20, 30. Home is getting $50. So home now has $1,000, $100, $200, $350. Car is getting $15. So car now has 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 10, 15. So 9, 15 in car. Subscriptions is getting $20 this week. So it now has 500, 600, 650, 670. Annual passes is getting $30. So annual passes now has 100, 200, 300, 400, 20, 30. Birthdays is getting $30 as well. So that will put birthdays at 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 20, 30. So 830 in birthdays. And then St. Jude, I will make my monthly donation today, so I'll have to do the unstuffing for that. But it's going to get an extra $10. So right now it has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But after I make that $50 donation from October, then it'll be back down to 10. So that will be good. And then medical, I am not cash stuffing because it's fully funded. So that is it for my long-term binder. Next is my short-term sinking funds. So let's go ahead and start with these. Shopping is getting $30. Speaking of Halloween, I was so impressed with the number of kids at the parade this morning that were dressed up as the K-pop demon hunters. I don't know if you all have gotten into this whole thing. It has certainly hit our house. We watched the movie during a quiet time, I think last weekend. And oh my gosh, those songs are so catchy. And I am not like a K-pop or animated movie like fan. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just have never gotten into it, largely because I don't have time for things outside of, you know, keeping the kids alive and working and this. But those songs are so catchy, and the story itself was so good. Like, I liked watching it. It wasn't just for the kids. So if you haven't seen it, if the K-pop Demon Hunters mania has not hit your household, I will highly recommend it. And just know that if it sounds by title alone like it is not your cup of tea, I recommend you give it a shot, because it is never something I would have picked by the title alone. But like I said, during quiet time, Dan put it on for the kids, and I ended up kind of watching it while we were cleaning up. And oh my gosh, it is the cutest story, and the songs are the freaking catchiest songs. We've been listening to them on the way from school and from pickup. They'll ask, they get in the car and they're like, can you play Golden? Can you play Soda Pop? Can you play? And we literally go through the whole soundtrack. So anyway, small side tangential topic, but oh my gosh, it's been in our house and catchy and nonstop for the past week. But there were a lot of kids dressed up as that. So I was very thankful that none of my kids asked last minute to change their costume, because I thought that request might be coming, but we stuck to our guns on that. So, all right, shopping. Shopping got $30. So it now has 100, 150, 170, 180. I was like, kudos to those parents that I'm sure got that request, because it just started picking up. So I'm sure that got that request last minute. We're somehow able to find that costume. It was very impressive. Clothing is getting $30 this week. So that will put clothing at 100, 20, 30, 40, 45. That was definitely the most popular one this year. I'm sure we'll see a lot tonight too on our trick-or-treating check. All right, date night. Date night is getting $20 this week, which will put date night at 100, 150, 170. Family fun is getting $40 this week, and we do have a home game on Sunday that the kids will be coming to. And actually, Dan's parents are also going to be coming to this one. It's our salute to service game, and Dan's dad was in the military for his career. So so we thought that this was one that would be really fun for them to come to and kind of see all the activations around that. So it'll be good to have a little bit of extra and family fun, so Dan can not only get whatever the kids need at the game, but can treat his mom and dad to a couple things as well. So family fun now has 100, 150, 170, 190, $200, which will be great for that game. I'll be working it. Otherwise, I would be partaking in that, but I work all of our games. So hopefully you'll be able to stop by and say hi though. All right, self-care. Self-care is getting $20. So self-care now has 50, 70, 80. Lola and Luna, let me flip my page over here. Lola and Luna are getting $25. We just had to pull a bunch of this because we had to refill all of their prescriptions, which was a lot. So we need to start building this one back up. It has 100, 20, 40, 60, 65, $70. So 170. I have like 400 in it. You know, we've got a big purchase like that, it can get depleted pretty quickly. Gifts is empty, so it will be getting $30, and I have $30 in it. And then school is getting $50. So school now has 50, 100, 20, 40. And then Oops is getting $30 as well. So that will put Oops at 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, which is a nice size buffer there. All right, guys, that is it for my short-term sinking funds. All right, next we get to start the November savings challenge for the 12-month savings challenge, which is super exciting. 2 months left in this one. I cannot believe that. That's insane. I am going to go ahead and save the same amount per symbol, so it'll be $10 per symbol. For November, since I'm just doing like the black coloring in this year, which I really love, by the way, I'm just going to color the little stems to designate how much I put aside for it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I've got the flexibility, so I'm going to do $150 for my first contribution. So I'll be able to fill out 3 rows here. Got a little bit more flexibility because I finished out the 52-week savings challenge, so so I don't have that contribution every week. I did an unstuffing for that, so if you're interested in seeing kind of that challenge come to fruition, feel free to check that out. But that is it for the November savings challenge. So this binder is getting nice and full. Super excited to finish that one out. We will jump into the holidays savings challenge. So I did go ahead and unstuff anniversary because we spent our anniversary funds, and then I also unstuffed Halloween because we spent those funds as well. Like I mentioned, I did an unstuffing video, so if you want to check that out, feel free. But I went ahead and put a brand new Celebrate tracker in for our anniversary. I bumped up the amount that I'm doing per symbol on that because I did overspend that a bit and had to pop into our Oops fund to cover the overage. I think it was like $60 or $70 overspent. So I just bumped it up by $5. Each symbol used to be 15, so I'm just doing 20 for that now. And then Halloween, we spent almost exactly on the dot. I think I had $30 left, so I kept that symbol the same. And then I just popped those in the back of the binder because I like having these ordered, and kind of whatever holiday is coming next is towards the front of the binder. So Thanksgiving is fully funded. We won't touch that. Christmas is fully funded as well, but I always do an extra contribution no matter what to Christmas. So I'll just put in $40 there. I don't need to color in the symbol because again, it's fully funded, but just kind of a little bonus contribution every single week. All right, New Year's. New Year's, I wonder if we can just finish this bad boy out. Let's try it, see if we can do it. All right, we've got math is hard. $70 to finish it out. We've got that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yay. Oop. That one's all done. That should be $250. So we'll go ahead and just organize it and count it up. All right, so we've got 100, 150, 200, 20, 30, 40, 50. So $250 saved and ready to go for New Year's, which is great. And then the big game, I'm just going to go ahead and do, let's just do $50 this week. All right, guys, and one of the things I just realized I did not do was combine my leftover funds here from my variable expenses. So we'll go ahead and add that to the cash tray. The reason that that jogged it for me is because I knew I had some ones left over that I need to put in some of these challenges here. So we will go ahead and do that. All right, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a $2 challenge. I have 5 singles. So 4 of them I'm going to put into Valentine's Day here, and I'll be able to fill in 2 symbols. Great. And then St. Patty's Day, we'll do $1 and fill in 1 of these. Lovely. And that takes care of those singles. And I think that's all I'm going to go ahead and do in the Holiday Savings Challenge. We'll pop the rest of this into Magical Vacation Savings Challenge, so we can hopefully finish out a couple of these challenges that are close to being done. Okay, so let's just go in order here. Airfare is fully funded. Accommodations fully funded. I'm looking for $10 challenges. Tickets fully funded. Entertainment's really close. Let's see if we can finish this one out. So we need $100 for entertainment. I've got 2 50s, so that'll work for that. We were looking at some of the like excursions or things you can do on the boat, and there's like a little princess tea party that I think we're gonna do. So we will probably use these entertainment dollars for the tickets for that. So entertainment has $500. Let's go ahead and give it a count. 100, 200, 300, 450, 500. So that is really exciting. That one is done, and I am gonna put going to put a little fully funded placeholder in front so I can see it and flip through it quickly as I'm going through. All right, activities. Activities would need $150 to finish out. I don't know that we have that, but if we do, let's do it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40. I do. Lovely. 50, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 50. Great. Another one we can finish. And this will also be $500. Let's go ahead and count this up. 100, 200, 300, 350, 370, 390, 410, 430, 450, 470, 490, $500. Oh, need a fully funded for that one too. Beauteous. Thank you for those of you that answered my question in my last video about how things are typically, like if cash is accepted or how payment is typically accepted at Disney. Most of you said the consensus was even if they take cash, they might be moving cashless is what I heard from some of you, but even if they do take cash, that cards are easier. So I really kind of like the plan that I've been having for this challenge in particular, which is just to move it all to the bank and plan on the spending being on card, and kind of accounting for it that way. So we'll continue to do that as we go through this challenge. All right, spending is a $10 challenge. These $10 challenges that are left are the ones that I kind of want to get through quickly here. Emergency is also a $10 challenge, and it's a little bit further ahead. So I'm going to put everything I can towards emergency, see how many we can fill. So I've got $20. Just see what we've got here. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75. I cannot use that 5, but I can use $70 to fill in seven symbols here. All right. And then pet care is a $5 challenge, so we'll just pop $5 into there. Dan's parents, my lovely in-laws, have already said that they would watch the pups, so this will just be kind of some money for supplies for that, and then a little thank you gift for them that we will give them for that. So that is it for the Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. And And that's it for this video and cash stuffing, guys. So as always, just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for your continued support. I am super excited to be into the month of November. Lots of exciting things coming up for us, for our family, and for the shop. Have a lot of the products coming in. I am aiming to do a shop drop towards the middle to end of November. And ideally what I would do is do that shop drop right before the 12 days of Christmas sale so that it can flow straight into that. And some of those new products we can hopefully include in the 12 days of Christmas sale. That's my plan. So super excited for that coming up. I cannot believe holiday season is essentially here. That is wild to me, but really excited for all the things coming. So as always, if you are on your own personal finance journey, I want to wish you a simple budget, a calm mind, and a happy life. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.